Hello, my lovely GNT students. It's Pam Turner, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about writing resumes. This is a requirement currently for the interviewing class. However, if you are currently in Field 1 or Field 2, you will also need one, and I will share with anyone else who's just interested in how to write a really good resume. So this is a former student of mine, and she has worked very hard. She's actually a graduate of Belhaven, so we're going to use hers as an example. One of the things that you always want to start with, as opposed to a resume you've already had, really is with you want to start with your objectives. The goal of this is that you're going to be competing with students who have maybe a 4-year degree, sometimes even a master's degree, and you have very much of the same training that they have. So you really want to make sure that you are showing the interviewer that yes, you have these skills and that yes, you can compete in the same environment. So instead of starting off with your education, you're going to start off with your social work experience. The best way to find these really is to look on your old syllabi. What I can tell you is what you should have learned. You should have learned how to facilitate groups. You should have learned how to interview. You should have learned how to complete a psychosocial, and you want to share that using social work verbiage. That's the best way to start. If you're not sure for a copy of your old syllabi, I will try to put a copy. I'll try to email a copy of them out. But again, those are the skills that you've learned. So you'll see the student has her name in the center. Your resume really does not need to be more than 1 page. In a day where I'm getting hundreds of resumes, I do not have time to read 50 resumes that are 16 pages long. It is succinct, it is short, it's to the point, it's telling you how great I am. The objective really can change, it's up to you. In this world, again, when we can compute, or we use the computer and we can change each resume, I change it to fit the job I'm looking for. So the objective is first, then your social work experience. Again, I'm going to show you, in addition to where to get that from your syllabi, where to also make sure that you pick it up. This student has her work history, and actually those last 2 on there are her field placement. So your field placement does count as experience, and you want to make sure that, you see she put from 214 to 1014. She started off as field and it led into a job. So you just want to make sure that you expand that as long as possible. Don't put 15 weeks. You were there for half a year or a semester, however you want to decide it. You just want to kind of expand that a little bit. And you're actually going to write what you did. And again, you're going to use those clinical terms. Remember, as we worked at in the field class, learning to put those things in clinical definitions. So after that, she has her education. And actually, she does have a 4-year degree. She just finished from Belhaven. She's one of my graduates. And I did adjust hers, unfortunately, but it is just 1 page. And that was me, but all of this is on 1 page. So her education, the date. If you graduate with honors, then you can have put that on there. You might want to. And then her accomplishments are things that she earned while she was in school and some other things that she learned after school. But she really has not had a job in the field since her internship. So don't think that just because you haven't had a social work job or all you've had is your field placements that you don't have experience. You do. In addition to her resume, it always usually asks for a cover letter. So on her cover letter, you're going to do the same kind of information, but you're just going to tailor it to the job that you're looking for. So as you see, she's used the same design format on her cover letter. Dear sir, madam, if you have a name, it's best to put the name in there. So if you know that, Johnny Jones is the person hiring, then you make sure you write Dear Johnny Jones. I wouldn't assume it was a he or a she. Just Dear Johnny Jones. And again, she is writing what makes her a great applicant for this job. Remember that you sell yourself. You don't start off with, I only have a 2-year degree. You start off with, I have a 2-year degree. You're really kind of selling all of those wonderful things. It's a very difficult process to go from having a non-professional resume where you worked at Hardee's or McDonald's or whatever, and now you're going to the professional world. So really want to make it, again, use that social work verbiage. You want to make it clear and concise. No pretty font. Very, Times Free Roman, something very clear. please make sure that your email address is something appropriate. You know what? When you were in college, cootsy wootsy was fine, or whatever term you use. But when you're looking for a job, please make sure that you have an appropriate email address. One of the other things that we really want to look at is the job. So this is one that, again, once you get your jobs, your resume out there, you can post it on Indeed, and that will kind of get you some hits, and you can look at the jobs. But this is just one that was out there, and I want to talk to you just about how you really tailor your resume to the job. So this job is actually a title of it's like patient care. I think it's a patient outreach and care support. There you go. Patient outreach and employment specialist. They prefer you to be bilingual, but if you look down, it does not say you have to be bilingual. It's just preferred. So again, because it's preferred does not mean you don't qualify. That just means that they would prefer that. So when you're looking at the objectives, look at what they're looking for. So these are general tasks they want you to be able to do. Notice communication skills, relate with diverse populations, community organization. Oh, did you have a diversity class where you learned how to communicate with diverse communications with diverse people? Let's see here. They are looking for someone who can maintain a database of healthcare enabling client services. For a database, that usually just is a matter of creating an Excel spreadsheet, which if you've had the computer class, you know how to do that. If not, you can always YouTube to remind yourself. Again, there are more things, some essential functions, the skills and ability. Let's see. Skills in exercising initiative, judgment, problem solving, and decision making. Have you had to do that in class? I'm pretty sure you have. We've talked about in your field, having to really kind of make decisions and encourage people. It talks about, let's see here, skills in conflict resolution. Remember we talked about in the intro to social work class, all the roles of social workers, that sometimes you're an advocate, sometimes you're a mediator. A non-judgmental attitude. I'm pretty sure you learned that very early, perhaps in your ethics class. Ability to work at a rapid pace, being involved in several duties at one time. Didn't you have at least more than one class with me, and more than one class in general? So you have these skills. What you want to do, though, is you really want to take some of this same verbiage and put it in your resume. So you want to say, I can set priorities and handle crisis management. I'm able to remain calm and poised in unique and urgent situations. When you're really describing your goals, you want to write them as a verb. So it would be prioritizing and avoiding crisis management. It's like, yes, I can do this. That's at the top when you're looking at your objectives. And again, if you've had some of this experience, which many of you have, you just want to match their verbiage. The reason you want to do that is because many of the job services really never get to see the person. It's a computer program that actually looks for those keywords. That's the importance of social work verbiage. You can say, well, I talked to that person, but to say I spent time counseling the family comes up very differently when you're looking for a job. So these are all the things, and I'm pretty sure that many of you have all of this. 1 to 3 years in program development or other field-related desires. I bet some of you worked in your field or will work in the field where you'll actually have to help develop a program, whether it be a food tribe or they're writing a grant for something else. That's very much part of the social worker world. So it really is a matter of matching your skills to their verbiage. Don't lie because it's going to come back to bite you, but you do want to be as honest as possible. And again, verbiage is really, really what matters. No more than one page. No cutesy font. I would rather have less information than lots of information that I'm never going to read. And that's just not me. That's the way we live in the business world where people are really busy and they're just not going to read the information. So short and sweet, use your verbiage from the job. Change your objective. Well, certainly this tells you what the job summary is. The position is responsible for screening and for patient eligibility for a multi-program offered at OFH, such as patient Protection Affordable Care Act. Wow, that would totally be my objective. I am looking for a position, and right there. So, and that wouldn't work for your next resume, but certainly for this one it would. And you really want to take your time to tailor this. Back in the day, when I was 57 million years ago, we had paper copies, and we made it on pink and all that pretty color resume paper. Now that's not necessary. Most things are actually very digital, so you're not really going to see any paper resumes. One of the things I also recommend is once you have gotten that initial interview, you want to make sure that you've researched the company. Every company almost always asks, what are your weaknesses? You want to make sure you have an answer for that. So you know what we do here, and usually that's on the website, so come in prepared to ask questions about the job. If they ask if you have questions and you have none, it seems like you're not interested. And even if you know the answer, you really want to engage the conversation. You want to try to be in the interviewer's place as long as possible. There's another technique that I teach, and it's called mirroring. And it is very much a psychological technique that most people don't even realize. But if you subtly, not huge, subtly, really kind of mimic the interviewer's body language, the way they're sitting, there's something many times that draws them to you, and they're not really sure why. We all know that we like people who are like us. That's kind of one of those facts. But if you really if he sits like this, then it's not going to be an obvious, but you're going to sit like this. If he leans forward, you're going to lean forward. And again, it's a psychological thing. He's not really sure why he likes you, but he does. I'm a huge fan still of saying thank you. So after you leave, if you didn't get his name or his email address, you can usually ask someone at the front desk for his information. I do an old-fashioned kind of writing thank you card. I think that's still old-fashioned and neat. However, most people will just at least send an email and certainly saying, thank you very much for the interview. I really look forward to this job. You may point out something specifically that you liked about the interview or the company. Wow, I love the fact that you guys really reach out to people in the community. Just something that he's going to remember you by, because many times you're going to get many resumes and you just want to stand out. Always dress professional more than you would work there. I'm not suggesting you have to come in high heels and a sequence gown, but you do want to dress up more than you see the employees dress up. This really is a great resume and a really great way to get in. If you keep it short and sweet and do what you're supposed to do, I can at least get you in the door. No promises on the jobs. You have to sell yourself as always. At least that gets you in the door. Hope this helps a lot, and you can go back to it for further reference. And for the rest of your life, you may be looking for a job. You may work someplace here and decide, hey, this isn't a good place for me, and go to someplace else. But certainly save this, and you can go back and you can use it. I'll be sending you just some more of the things that you learned that I taught you in the class, so you have something to reference to. If you are in my interviewing class or in my field class 1 or 2, your resume is due to me. I believe that's the last week of April, and that is a requirement. If you got lucky and didn't get in the resume class, then you're free to go and feel free to work on it and use it as you go along, and I will gladly critique your resume. And that's how I actually got this one. One of my former students asked me to critique it, and we made some little changes, and she has gotten the job. So I thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, you can feel free to call me at work 706-764-3863. Thanks, guys.